Welcome to this Odoo Insider session. Today we are going to have again another regular Q&A session, so you can ask me anything technical, functional. I will try to answer with the best of my knowledge. I don't know everything, but I like to search for information inside Odoo. Inside Odoo, maybe sometimes a bit inside GitHub or Odoo SH. Sometimes you will see me on my own screen. I will check a few things that we have in the pipe for the next version. So ask a bit everything, and if I cannot answer, I will tell you. The goal, as usual, is also to show you how we work as consultants, so that's why you will see me sometimes struggle, simply because it's also part of our life, trying to find an answer for our clients and partners. Sometimes we struggle because we need to find a solution or at least an explanation or why things don't work as expected. So we'll see that together. I still have a few questions from last week, so we can start with that, unless there are already some questions asked. No, and this time I told you that we had Morgan and Ines in the studio, and now we can hear them.
Hello, everybody.
Perfect. So that it brings another voice, better voices than mine, so that hopefully you won't be bored only with my voice, but also with their voices. All right. So the agenda for the next sessions, lots of regular Q&A session. Tech One, we are working also on having a few more dedicated, like the one that you had with Laureline on the French accounting, because we think it works well. There are a few topics that people are really eager to learn, to know a bit about, because there are big news sometimes, regulation related. We don't know. There are a few people that like to present Odoo Insider that speak English, Dutch, French, so that's why we want to mix this with different languages. We'll see how it goes, but for the next few weeks it is going to remain like this one. In the meantime, we have already a question from Ikramul Hussain. Hello Antoine, is there a way to show the BOM type set as kit components in the PO so that whenever the purchase team sees the BOM, they can see how many components to be purchased? Okay. I'm thinking about your question, because the funny thing is that last week I think we ended on something. I can maybe show it, because I'm pretty sure that I'm on this database. We did something similar, or at least that was related to what you said, but on the sales side. I think it was Jesse that asked us that. Let me check here. Those ones are confirmed. I'm going to select. If it's not there, could it be that we did it on another database, in which case I would have to redo it again? I don't like that too much, but let's see, because in the views, I'm not answering directly your question, Ikramul. I'm having a look at what we did last week, because I have the feeling that what you're asking for is quite similar. So here I'm looking for a QApp view that should contain my sale order report. And I think that last time we changed it. I'm going to make that a bit bigger so that you can read it on your screens. It was here. I hope that we still have it. Section name. Yes, that's what we did here. That is typically last week. That is the standard line, and I added this one. So it was to say, if we have, again, on the sales side, if we have a product that is that contains a BOM, that has a BOM attached to it, let's show the split of the BOM. And we have a product. If I go in the manufacturing, we have that bill of material product that is here. The t-shirt, we have cotton and thread. So if I want to show those t-shirts, yeah, in fact, that first quote was already good. If I want to print it, we are going to have the split. So it was just to show, thanks for that question, because it's quite rare that I have a question from a previous session that looks like the question from this session, especially the last one compared to the first one. And we made those changes. I was painting things red so that we could see the changes that I was bringing, and we have the sub items here. That is sales side, and on your side there's something I'm not sure I understand well, because you say, hello, is there any way to show the BOM components in the PO? If you ask me this, I could do that. So it means that if I'm buying this time the components here, I'll maybe get it while I'm answering it. So purchase. If I'm, let's say I'm selecting here t-shirts, so it's the same. I'm going to say I want 10 small green ones, and I'm saying I'm going to purchase to that guy. You would like kind of to have the same, but I can see already a problem. The way I did it on this side, let me open this again for you, is it's just a pure display thing on the PDF. You see here I have two lines, t-shirts, blue and red, while on the other side, and we have the the details here, while the sale order lines are here in red, and the content of it that is brought from the BOM is the part that we have in black. It has no business impact. It's just helping the customer see what is inside, but it's not going to change the way you are going to reorder products. It doesn't change anything else than just that PDF. So good thing is that it is safe in terms of change, because it's not going to impact a lot of things, but the PDF. Bad thing sometimes is that maybe you would like to show it here. And I remember Jesse's question, which was, but I don't want to have a repetition. Otherwise, I'm selling on one side the t-shirts, and just below, I'm selling a second time the components. I don't want to have those two lines. So what we usually do is just changing the PDF so that it's visible. Here you say, you have this, but I have the feeling that on your side, you would like to explicitly have the other products being selected. You would like to take that product, and because you take that product, you rather load the components, because you say, when is there any way to show the BOM on the PO, so that whenever the purchase team sees the BOM, they can see how many components they have to purchase. The thing that you want to purchase in the end is not the t-shirt, it's the thread and the cotton. So that is why maybe it would be rather the opposite. You would like that when we select a product that is a BOM, maybe you have a button somewhere, you click on it and then it splits it so that it's selecting the thread and the cotton. So that's maybe what you would like. I'm not sure about that. We don't have something that is built in Odoo to do that. It would be a bit longer than what I did, because in terms of code, you need to be sure of the following. You need to add a button somewhere saying, okay, if this one has a BOM, when you add quantities, unit price, you click on a button and then it splits it across thread and cotton. But you need to take into account that if you already have those two lines and you add another t-shirt, we need to split it, but by adding new items. So you need to check that the product exists already in the purchase order line first. So if that's the need that you have, it's a bit more complicated than the one that we illustrated last week related to the sale order. Can you, Kramul, confirm that it is what you want, or that is what you asked? Because that I'm not completely sure, but that's I don't know if it's my logic, but based on the question that you asked, I have a feeling that is what you want to accomplish. If that is it, maybe selecting the t-shirt as a product is not the right answer, and you should rather go for some kind of let's say resupply, so that you say, I'm not going to enter in my PO that I want new products. I'm going rather to say that thread and cotton are going to be selected automatically because I don't have enough, and because I set proper reordering rules on my thread and cotton. Just to let you know, in case it is not clear, but that is illustrated in quite a few videos inside Odoo, and it's, let's say, the base of the inventory management. If we go in the thread here, we have somewhere reordering rules, and here I don't have any. So for Odoo, it means, you know what, you are going to manage completely manually the reordering process of that thread, and same for the cotton. So it means that I have to go every now and then in my inventory there and say, okay, in terms of stock, the reporting, okay, I don't have any, you see on hand and on free to use. I will explain the difference after. It means that you don't know how much you need to resupply for those two. At the moment, there's no resupply that is scheduled, but it would be wise to say, you know what, let's have always at least 20 units of cotton, and same for the thread, in my stock, so that I can go faster if I want to deliver someone for a t-shirt, simply because I will have the let's say the sub-assemblies or the components that I need, or the raw materials, different names, not exactly the same thing but similar, to well, I will have them in my stock at least at that moment. That's where you are going to say it, and that's here on my product. I can say okay, I would like to always buy at least 10 to, let's say, 30, and yes, like this. Here it's saying, you know what, you can click on order if you want to force the ordering. Otherwise, as it's marked as automatic, this is going to run every 4 or 6 hours. I can have a look at that, by the way. I'm always hesitating, but because the trigger is automatic, when we are going to do this operations procurement run scheduler, it is going to reorder because we ask through the scheduler, but that action that we have here, procurement trend scheduler, it is executed nonetheless every time, every day. If I'm looking for the scheduled action in a run scheduler, this is where we go, and it's once a day. Okay, once a day we run this one, and here you see it's at 10 a.m. In the morning. So this thing here is really the same as clicking here. Only difference is that this one I click it manually. On the other side, what is happening is that we execute it every day. And we can make a quick test with this one. If I'm running here procurement scheduler, it is I saw that this one was giving me I had 0 and now I have 1. It is going, I'm pretty sure it is going to tell me the following. You ask me to resupply from 10 to 30 and you have less than 10, so I'm going to resupply to 30. But what you forgot to tell me is the supplier that I should resupply to. And that's maybe why, yes, no matching vendor price, blah, blah. So I will need to go there in purchase and say who would be the vendor of this one and put a unit price, lead time. And now that I have this, I'm pretty sure that I'm going here again on the product. I'm saying, okay, I did it, so no need to worry and bother me with that one. Let's go back on the inventory, let's redo it. Now I don't have that new icon there, so I would suppose that it is okay. And in the purchase, yes, I see here we now have a RFQ for the thread, and then we take 29 and not 30. That's because we have the other one that exists right there. So that's why it's going for only that amount. Okay, so you said in the meantime, you responded, yes, that's what I'm looking for to split the BOM component. So I would prefer, it's a good point because you allow me to illustrate something in the life of a Odoo consultant. If a client asks me what you ask, I'm going to propose what I've just shown here. First, don't try to not reinvent the wheel because the way is not exactly the same, but it is better in terms of reusing the standard of Odoo so that you're sure you are in the safe zone. It's not going to be buggy. You are not going to have to think about all the potential ways it could go wrong simply because we had them before in the development that we made. So I would prefer, if you can afford it, or if you can also, that's very important, teach and train your client on how to do this. I would prefer that you are going to reuse the replenishment rules that we discussed. So this one for the thread and another one. So that, in fact, here you don't have to even say, I would like to buy things for that product. It is going to be put there automatically. I did it through a rule, a route here that is a buy route, that is what we call make to stock with a minimum stock rule and a maximum one. If you say, yes, but I would like to be automated as soon as I make a sale, then just a quick reminder, you can also, in the settings of your configuration here in the stock, I'm going to add a quick thing that I'm pretty sure I'm going to use it later. Yes, I'm going to add the storage location and multi-route. And because I'm selecting the multi-routes, routes, we have here the possibility in the routes. I think it's archived. Yeah, you can say replenish an order, and this one would allow you to, if I unarchive it, you would be able to say that for some product you would like the reorder to happen MTO and not MTS, so it's not going to consider this time the replenishment that we have here. So if I'm saying that the thread should be managed MTO, it's not going to go, it's not going to check here the amount of product that we are expected to have in the stock. It is going to say whatever is in the stock, working MTO, if I need thread, I'm going to order it. So that's maybe also what you can consider Ikramul. If that doesn't work, and last part about this question, if that doesn't work, you can make a development, but it will be a bit more complicated because you need to add a product here, click on something to split it, and you will have it there. If the goal is to reorder, there's no choice. If the goal is to reorder, you need to have the products here inside the purchase order lines with the right quantity, the right price to the right vendor. So that split would work, but you need to also take care of removing the product, the main product. I wonder, I said it was the last part, but I lied. I wonder if somebody did that already. It would be a bit more complex to check. What could it be? It would be something related to purchase and manufacturing. What we can do in that case is go in the category about manufacturing. We have that, and check if we have something that is purchase related. There, maybe, what would that be? Here, Yeah, so it seems to be the opposite of what we need. Purchase order in manufacturing order. Yes, no. Unbilled management. So maybe you have to check if not someone is already doing that. BOM on purchase order line. That's for subcontracting. You can check here if you don't have a few that propose those kind of things. That's going to be a bit longer, so I'm going to avoid that for now. But that could be a potential good match as well. All right, I'm going to. In fact, so your next answer. Just to let you know, I have created a button in BOM form view. I also created a server action that makes me to go to purchase order. Okay, whenever I click the button, I'm looking this feature for a client who is into EPC. And for that, they create BOMs from project, and they would like to see the BOM components. But if you did it already, that could work. And indeed, from BOM, you have access to the final product and the components. So that would work. And if you want to bring it to the project, there are several tricks now that you did it already with a server action, which, by the way, is correct. That is not something that you need to go for Odoo SH. Like it's not mandatory to go there for those kind of small developments. You could consider that on a task, because I'm not sure about the need, but on a task you could maybe have a series of products and have also a button there that calls the server action, so that from that task or from that project you create also that PO from the BOM that you listed on the task. So it's just adding another let's say kind of a for loop that goes to all the products, and if the product have a BOM, you create that PO with the components. That would work. Maybe what becomes a bit more complicated is that you need to take care when you do those kind of things that products that you have in a BOM, usually they are purchased at different suppliers. So potentially if you do that on more than just one BOM, you need to be sure that you don't have already a PO that is created and eventually in draft and that counted already a click that you made. Because what you don't have in the way you did it here is that you don't have a check of how much you already have in a draft purchase order. So if you click several times, it's going to be added all the time. So if you double click, you make a mistake, but you don't know because it will create one PO maybe with 2 lines that are doubled in terms of quantity, and that you wouldn't be sure because it is too late, it's already done. While on the let's say here on the inventory side with the scheduler and with the replenishment, that works because Odoo is going to check, okay, do we have already something that is in draft and that is going to be purchased anyway. So those kind of extra check, we have them in your code. Maybe you don't, it's okay, but it means that you need to do it yourself, and so you reproduce part of the logic that we already have. All right. Next question on Eri Nikaido. What is the recommended maximum BOM hierarchy level in Odoo? I understand that it can have an unlimited number of levels, but I'd like to know if there's a recommendation or limitation. No, there is no recommendation like this. I think that you wouldn't have a limit in terms of levels. Maybe there's a limit in terms of what Odoo can compute at which time. So you have applications that take a lot of time to compute things because you need it. You need Odoo to compute things. Stock is part of them, stock and manufacturing, because when you purchase things, if you use, for example, the MPS, you are going to have MPS is another way to resupply. If I go here, I think it's not there in my planning. No, I can show that quickly, although I will show it maybe on a demo environment. Because then the MPS, I think it's better when you go there, because at least you have already a few demo data somewhere. So do we have it? Nope. I can go there and check for the MPS. Yes, master production schedule. I won't use it. I'm just loading it so that I can show you the amount of fields that you can have, and that each field is computed, and that every time that you change a value, it is going to perform some checks related to dates, availabilities of product, and that is where you go. It's here, master production schedule, and you see that's what I wanted to show. Here we have different dates. It's per month. You have different products. You have the forecasted, the replenishment, and there are lots of computation. take this, multiply by the amount of product that you have or the depth of the BOMs that you have, and it can become not a nightmare, but something that is a bit longer to execute. So the depth of the BOM is not going to be a limit in itself, but maybe the amount of manufacturing order that you have, the complexity of the BOM with the amount of products, the amount of data that you would like to show, maybe in spreadsheets, maybe here in different columns, and if you use a master production schedule. We have a lot of clients that have several 100,000 of products that are manufactured, and it works really well, even if you have lots of different levels. When you encounter anyway a performance issue, there are two ways that you can fix that. At least the first one I'm thinking of. Have a bigger machine, so better RAM, more RAM, a better CPU or multiple CPUs. So you change the server or the type of server. On our Odoo SH, maybe I have Odoo SH somewhere here. Yeah, but I can go on Odoo SH simply here, and if we go on buy, I think. No, it's not this one, pricing. There you will see the amount of workers, and you can go on a dedicated type somewhere here, and then I don't think that we have a client that went so far as to need that amount of workers. I'm not sure about that, but I've not heard of it. So you can always have a bigger machine, and usually when you have a BOM that is complex, it's not that you can afford it, but the chances are quite high that if it's complex and you have a thousand of lines and products, that means that you need anyway to have a bigger server with pricing that is of course evolving in that direction. That's the first thing. Second is we can help you find which are the places where you would need extra performance analysis on our side. We have a look and we check, okay, are you doing something wrong? Or do we do something in Odoo that could be improved for your use case? And that we are going to fix it. You can ask on the support if you encounter that thing, but again, there's no fixed limit for that. Maybe a last thing I'm thinking of. Let's imagine that you have only one user and that you have super complex BOM, but just one user. It is not the same as having 10 users that do the same operations as the only user. So you can have something very complex, but you don't sell it much. Or you can have something super complex and you sell it every second. So it's not the same. So again, it's not purely a one parameter. That here is the not the complexity, the hierarchy level that is going to change that area. Okay, so I'm going to the next question from Merozabay. Sorry, I'm sometimes I'm reading afar and I'm not used to all the names. So Merozabid is asking us: I'm an Odoo administrator, but I cannot see the option to upload a bill in a PO. All right, that can be for multiple reasons. Let's go here. So you don't have this button, I guess. So you are an admin, but you cannot see the. No, it's the bill, not the PO. Okay, so it's not that button here, it's directly the PO. From your question, I understand it's the upload a bill on a PO. So if you go here, you have upload bill button. Let's see in debug. Clicking on the debug button, I'm always using that little icon extra Chrome add-on. Otherwise, you could go Ctrl-K debug, that would work as well. Although, yeah, correct. And here, if I put my cursor, I was going to say, I should see the access right. That's fun. Okay. That's something I didn't know. Here, if I go on send PO, we see the method, we see when it's invisible, we see the button type it is, blah, blah. Upload bill, it doesn't show anything. All the other ones we have. So I'm going to make some extra check for this one. It's maybe not in the view, so that's going to be a bit more complicated. I thought it was an easy question. Yes, and so you're asking this, you gave us some extra information. You're asking this because you need on that button to have some extra access so that not everyone can upload a bill. I'm going to check a quick thing. I'm curious about the view that we use on the purchase order. Usually when we have an upload bill button like this one, there should be, unless there's a lot of JavaScript, there should be something on a purchase order object in the model that should contain the upload button. And so you see here, I'm looking first on the model purchase order and then upload, it's going to be in the architecture. Okay, I have something here we'll see. I'm going to, and there's only one view. That's the best match I can hope for. And I see purchase file uploader. Okay, and there's a widget. Okay, it's not a button, so that's why there's a difference. It's at the same place. It's in the middle of all the buttons, but it's a widget. So that's maybe why there's something different. So this one, if I want to see a few things about it, I would need to check in JavaScript or about this one what it does, where it's specified, but it's not a button like the other ones. So it's already something that is potentially not problematic, but that can make it not work as the rest. Now, if it's about you cannot see the option and it's just like this, the only reason why is this. Unless you change that statement, but this allows you to have the button that is hidden when you create a request for quotation. I go here, you don't have the button. That's because it says it's invisible if the state is different than purchase. And here, this one is also a quote. This one is a purchase order. You can see it here. So because it is a purchase order, we show the button. All right. So if you don't see it and you have Odoo standard, that's the reason why. I should maybe add, I'm on a 19.4. Do we have a different behavior on a 19 or 18? Maybe. I don't know. We can check here very, very quickly if it's the same reasoning. I am not sure, but I guess it is. So let's make that bigger again. Let's go on the purchase side. PO here, we have the upload bill button. If I go a bit lower here on RFQ, we don't have it. And if I want, again, to use my debug mode to check the view, chances are quite high. Yeah, it's a widget here. It's the same notion. I'm going to close that run bot. So invisible because of that reason. Now, if you want to change it and you say, yeah, I would like to see it anytime, I don't know if it's a mistake because maybe Odoo performs a few things when you create the bill, which in turn expects the PO to be validated, so to be a PO and not a RFQ. I could do that. I would see the button all the time. But is it smart? Because maybe I'm going to upload an invoice, and when I upload it, it's going to tell me, okay, very good, but when you know that when you upload the invoice, I'm performing a few checks inside the invoice to link it to the PO, and there are a few things I'm not going to link if the PO is not a validated PO. So it's not because I'm doing this and I'm removing it that it's going to work magically. Those are always things that I would like you to test and to see, maybe in the code with your knowledge, if there is, let's say, a side effect to what you are doing. Because having a button or not a button or forcing things, it doesn't mean that it is going to work the right way. And maybe sometimes it's going to work the right way for 90% of what you want, but the 10 extra percent, you won't discover them unless maybe you have an upgrade, unless you have another type of invoice or things like that. Now, if you want to make it invisible to some other people, you can say base group, I don't know if it's administrator or something like this, but you could say only the accountant can see it. I don't know if it's accountant, the one that we need here for the group. So that's only a few people can see it. And this one, just a reminder, that is the XML ID of the group. So if you want to get it, you go in the, not access rights, you go in the groups. There as well, you need to be in debug, I think, to see the groups. And we can say accounting, accounting. We go here, admin, and you go there, metadata, and that is what we need. All right, so that is the one that we would need. And of course, it couldn't have been base because it's not in base that we have the notion of accounting. It's in the account module. So I'm not going to put it there, but that would work if you want to make it invisible. So Merozabid, tell me if that is the ID. If you want to dive, that is going maybe to bring us down the rabbit hole, but if you want this, maybe there we are going to see, yeah, it's when I see JavaScript first and no Python, it means that most of the thing that it's going to do when you click on that is going to be in JavaScript, and that you cannot change much. So very not dangerous, it's not that, but it means you need to have more knowledge about this. There's no Python involved, so it's purely a template with a file uploader. So let me check this one, because I don't remember exactly what it does, in fact, to be honest. So let's go back in my purchase, click on upload. What it says, yeah, okay, it's going to, I'm not going to upload files here. It's going to load your navigator, your browser, file explorer, should I say, and propose things to be uploaded. So that's why. Maybe there's also something else that is being done after. Let me check that quickly. I'm going to upload a bill in my thing here. Bring a fake bill. Can I move this back? Nope. Yes, I can. Okay, let's do that. So it brings me here. I'm going to select that invoice. Open. Yeah. All right. So it is maybe simply something that we couldn't do in any other way than adding some JavaScript to open that file explorer thing. That's maybe why we've been doing that. Potentially here it's, yeah, if we click this view, it's, yeah, in fact it's not long. It's just like open, add the upload bill button, and on load complete do something else. It's quite short, in fact, what it does, but I guess we couldn't do it with a regular button. Okay, that's it. Next question from Alvine Otieno. Does Odoo have an API? And let's say I was using the accounting module. Can I access it programmatically in my application? And does I have eTeams integration such that when I create an invoice, it can also be reflected on the eTeams side? And when I self-host, do I get everything that is in the cloud version? All right, several questions. Yes, we have an API. We have an API. We even now in 19.4 can have some MCP thing. So let's discover the API Odoo. External API documentation. Here it says 19. Okay, I can go 19 is even better. So new in version 19, now we have it in JSON 2, but you have also RPC right there, and you see danger 19. It's saying those endpoints will be removed in 22, so it's in 2 years now, so you still have a bit of time. But just to let you know that we are going to stop XML RPC and JSON RPC, and we are going to work only with JSON 2, so better be prepared and already use it. How can you access that? We explain how to contact the database, what kind of information is needed in terms of host. You see here, I think that somewhere we are going to put information about, yes, API key. So you go there. I don't know if you tried that already, Alvine, but you can go there, click on My Preferences. You can go in security and you can add an API key here. It's going to say, okay, re-enter your password first. Then when you re-enter it, it's going to ask you, okay, what do you want it for? Here I don't have a password directly on this one, simply because I'm using another way of connecting. But I think that maybe I have, let me check that. I maybe have a local database running. Yes. So that local database on my laptop. If I go in my preferences, then if I go in security, you see here I'm just tested a bit of those kind of calls in RPC and MCP. If you want to add a key here, I think on my local machine it's just admin. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, and then it brings you to that. And the scope, you can select and put whatever you want. Then you say if it's RPC or MCP that you want to select, and the time for which the key is going to remain persistent. Okay, so once you do that, you can connect. The same is the same on online. It's just that I'm not showing it on my SaaS instance, but it's going to work exactly the same. From there, we okay, that's the API key generation and creation, and then this is what you can use or to give the information. What to import in terms of a library. You put the API key here. Of course, there is none in the documentation. Here's how you are going to use it, how to revoke, blah, blah, and then the kind of calls that you can have. Do we have it somewhere? Yes, here. You can post a request that is, okay, search for partners. So that's what it says. So that is the model here. And then just after is the method. You are going to search for partners, and then you give some extra information in terms of parameters, and you say, okay, the domain is going to be, I would like to have all the partners that contain deco inside their names. So it's going to then give you some information, and you can, it's going to send you IDs, and then you can get these IDs back here that you got from here in the JSON of the request that you made. And from there, you can ask more, like the name field. Okay, so you have a few examples here, and that is working on the SaaS. So if you start a new database, or if I'm using the one that I have here, I'm going to receive that. I can maybe check. No, I won't be able to check it live right now on the SaaS. I'm going to say, trust me, bro, but just checking if I can do it on my side quickly with, yeah, maybe I can show something. Because I think I have an API testing here. I'm just checking first if there's information that cannot be shared, but I don't think so, because it's purely on my local environment, so we wouldn't care so much. Yeah, there's nothing that is really important here. Yeah, it could look like this. You have my local hosting. Here's just my API key that I have at the moment on my local host environment. So it's really a test environment. And doing this, what I would have is, if I'm running it, I'm going to show you that. Yeah, this is the output that I have. So it's calling this place, it's using my information, then it checks the products that have a list price that is matching my search that I think was more than 10. So that's why it's bringing me the restaurant expense, which is the only product there that matched the criteria that I got. So you can do that. Of course, me is just connect, bring me some information, disconnect, but it can be more complex than this with several calls in a row, so that you can do as well. Now the second part of the question is, do I get everything local compared to the cloud version? The answer is it depends, and it depends of the version that you are using. So well, it depends on different axes, let's say. First, the mode of Odoo that you are using. Is it community or is it enterprise? When you go here, Odoo/Odoo, that is Odoo community. That's why it is public. You see it here. You see it's a public thing. That is Odoo community, and you don't have everything. Like, you don't have all the reporting in terms of accounting. You don't have the AI something module. So if I'm looking for AI, I don't find it here, but I would find it in enterprise modules. Here, if I'm looking for AI MCP, yeah, it's coming with 19.4. I'm not going to find it here, but all the AI modules, for example, are strictly limited to enterprise. So if you use a community version on site, you are not going to have access to all the extra modules, the knowledge application, the fleet application, accounting one, everything related to budget. I'm reading at the same time here the integration with Avatax with, well, you have lots of other things that you don't have. The list is there, it's just the name of the modules. If you're interested about what it does, like data cleaning, you can click there and see in the manifest the description of the module. You have it here, the summary. We also have a page explaining that, like Odoo Community vs Enterprise. It shows, we have the edition comparison. That's the word I was looking for, edition versus version after. So community edition, there are a few things that you don't have. It's already a very, very good product, but if you want the best one, it's of course the Enterprise. You have this one. I like this because it gives you a first overview. And now if you want to go into the details, nothing beats GitHub. So version editions first. On site, when you are online, let's say when you are online, you only have Enterprise. On Odoo SH or on the SaaS, we only propose Enterprise. If you go on site, you can choose to have the community that is free, and you can simply clone Odoo here, go there, and you clone using the URL or SSH you choose. If you're on the enterprise, then you need to have a contract with us, and then you can have the enterprise version on site. So that is also depending on what you want exactly, but if you want the extra features of the enterprise, you can enter in contact with us, and once you have a subscription, we allow you, as long as it is a yearly subscription, we allow you to download the source code. So you will have access to it, you can host it, and all the information about how to host it is also located on in our documentation, so odoo.com/documentation, and there, or you Google it, you will find it somewhere. I think it's on-prem here, yeah, source install, and you are going to find how to do it. It's well done. I mean, the documentation is better and better. It's not always complete, but it's really really good in terms of everything that is development related. Is really good. Okay, that was for Alvine Otieno. Next one is the Red King. How is an invoice created from a personal website integrated with Odoo, and how does it sync with Odoo? It's a bit related to the previous question. So if you have a personal website, when I hear personal, it looks like it's not professional. So if it's a personal website that you did and that you are looking for an API integration, I would say think a second time, because what you could do is simply create your own website on Odoo and replace the previous one. So there are lots of small websites online, and no offense, it's not something that is bad, but there are lots of small websites online that are that can be changed and switched from to go for Odoo and create your own website with the same information here. We have a team of web designers, webdesign.odoo.com. I'm not sure about the name now. Is it this? No, it's not that. It must be, it's maybe webdesign.odoo.com. Thomas would kill me. Do you know which one it is?
Is it the website where you can find?
Yes, well, we can see the different showcases that we have. I thought it was web design, but I'm not sure.
No, design.
It's maybe just design. Should I try it? Ah, yes, design. Yeah, that's it. I was web design, but it's design. Okay, so where you can see here, you can contact us. It's a sub website of Odoo specifically for the website design, because we have a bunch of web designers at Odoo that do from small to bigger project. If you have a look here, we have a few big names, like very big companies, and a few smaller names, and you can see what we can do with Odoo in terms of design. But you can replace your website with something that is professional, but also that is linked to your ERP. And I'm pretty sure that it will cost less. Especially if you do it, it will cost less than trying to integrate with Odoo. Now, if you tell me you don't want to hear my commercial speech, and you are really eager to keep your existing website, same story as what we said before. You can connect with the external API. The only difference is that if I browse, let me give you an example here. The example that we had here was, hey, connect to Odoo, find a partner, then read the partner information. Instead of having this, you can connect to Odoo, find a partner, and then create an invoice about that partner, find the product that you want, create an invoice about the product that you want. That would work as well. Now, if you are in a country like Belgium or France, where we have, let's say, a specific data format and electronic invoicing, that would work also to send us an electronic document format if you already work with a software that allows you to do that. If you don't, then forget that possibility. So you could use the API, contact us, create the invoice line. Every time that you need to create those things, you need to make a search in Odoo to know if the product exists, all those kind of things. But it can be done. It can be done through a call that you have from the outside, and you call us here with only then the method that exists at Odoo, and the methods you have: search, read, create, unlink, and all those that we call CRUD, so create, read, update, delete methods. But you also have all the other methods that exist in Odoo that are not private. So if I want to check, I don't know, something related to sale orders, or you mentioned, let's say, you mentioned accounting. So if at some point, I think that's going to be the name of the function is post, but let's see. If at some point you say, okay, my invoice is good, the way it is sent to Odoo, I know it is good, I want to programmatically validate it so that it receives an invoice number and you get the information to send it back to your software. Then you have something that is, I think it's post. Post here. Do we have dev post? No, it's not there. I may be wrong. It may be yes, this one. It's underscore post, so I don't think that you can. Everything that is with underscore, I think it's private, so I'm not sure you could contact it from the outside world. But do we have something else? Maybe we call post from another place. Nope. Action post. Yeah. So that one maybe you can call. I think that's the button validate that we have on the invoice. So you can call it also programmatically. So what I mean is that you are not limited only to the few examples that we have here in terms of method. Here, a search, you have read, you can have any method, as far as I know, that is not prefixed with a underscore. So you can do that. And if you want to sync it, you need to also fetch the information after it has been created in Odoo to bring it back to your software. Now, either you do that and everything that is that intelligence of bringing information inside Odoo and retrieving it, it is done on your side because you know maybe the programming language. You don't work with Python, and you want the programming language to remain PHP or C or I don't know, the software language that you have on your side. You contact us and all the intelligence is on your side. It is good because you don't need to know Odoo's language for that, and maybe you are super experienced in your own software. But maybe what is missing then is that you cannot create something on Odoo's side to make your life easier. So you rely on using strictly the method of Odoo. Now, if you go for Odoo SH, what you can do is add a part of the code here. You can create new Python code and new business logic and new controllers, so endpoints in Odoo, so that you could say, for example, in a user here, you create a new module that says, every time that you contact me with a API key, with a user and a password, or with that API key, and that you send a specific payload that you decide the form of, you send that payload and Odoo is going to understand it, let's say a JSON payload, and create things according to a new function that you are going to create in Odoo. Because you use Odoo SH, you can create that new function and a new endpoint. It's maybe sometimes simpler for complex things. It's better to create that part inside Odoo instead of in your own software, so that you can have a function or a series of functions that does exactly what you want on Odoo's side. And you can redefine a new function or a new endpoints. That means you need to have Odoo SH, you need to develop it on Odoo or ask somebody to develop it for you. That would work as well. Now, based on that just one line that you sent, that is what I can tell you. We have a few also integration that work with other softwares with some sync, but then it's always specific and it's mostly done. I'm thinking about Penny Lane in France, for example, that has an integration with Odoo, but that is one specific case. I don't know for the other countries. I have another question from Hussein in Salah. If we start by creating an invoice for a customer, can we then create a quotation or sale order for this invoice or link it to an existing sale order? Okay. The first part of your question, without development, no. There is no. You could browse the code that you have here on the what is an invoice. By the way, it's an account move. So here you will find. We could look for quotation. You wouldn't see anything. Let's try. I'm saying quotation. Yeah, we have something, but only one match, and it's in the in comments. Now, if you want to create it, in a way you could, because you could say, okay, let's have. From my invoice, I create retrospectively the quotation that I would have expected for that invoice. Good. You can do that in Odoo and under the form of a server action or specific code. We go through all the lines of let's say if I have an invoice here. Do I have one? No, I don't. Okay, let's go on not this environment. I think I can close the API. Let's go on, the demo one. .sales, sorry for that, accounting, let's go here. You can programmatically ask Odoo with a button. Let's imagine you have a new button here, and it goes, it selects the right customer, and it creates a quote for that customer. It tries to find the date at which you would have confirmed the sale order based on the dates that you have here. It reuses the delivery address of the customer as well, which is another field that is sometimes hidden. And it selects the sale order line. It creates a new one for the office lamp. With the account, we don't care because we don't have that information at the sale order level. Same quantity, same price, same taxes, and you can revert it back. That would be a lot of code. Honestly, I don't know if it's smart to do that. But I'm not always questioning why you would do it. You know that sometimes I'm diving directly in the question without challenging you. But let's say if you want to do this, I wouldn't do it that way. Maybe the best would be to create it manually. You can do it programmatically, but you will find lots of examples where you need to explain it through code, and I'm sure it's more complex than what it looks like. What you can have though, if you need to link things together, you need first to realize and understand the data model of Odoo. Why am I saying that? That is because in Odoo, let's go back in debug. In Odoo, you have something that is the data model of the sale order and account move on the other side. But let's go on the sale order. Sale order is here, and all right. If I'm putting all the fields, we are going to find. Let's go on invoice or move. Do we have account move? Move. Do we have invoice? Yes, amount invoice, amount to invoice. Okay, those are monetary fields. We can see it here in that column. So there's no, it's just an amount and a currency. There's no information about yet, at least, because there are more matches. If I stop here, there's no relational field. Then integer, many to many. Invoice ID is good. Invoice ID here, so that means that there's a link between both. We can go there and see how it is done. I'm not sure it is not something that is computed. I'm going to keep that one. Let's remember that one. I'll go back to this later. Okay, so we have invoice IDs. Good. Blah, 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 blah. Oops. And then is invoice cron? Okay, is it linked to a subscription? What is the last invoice? Okay, next invoice, partner invoice ID, so the invoice address, and then we've done it all. Okay, so between sale orders and invoices, that's the link that we have. Obviously, the most important one seems to be this one, which is a many-to-many saying which invoices are linked to which sale order. Knowing that in lots of businesses, you can have several sale orders for one invoice or several invoices for one sale order. Because of those two needs existing at the same time, it needs to be a many-to-many. So many invoices can be linked to many sale orders. That thing, invoice IDs, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is, if not computed, it is filled in indirectly with another notion, that is the sale order line. Let's go on the sale order line here. So it is the lines that we have in the sale order, and there we have some notion. We have a link between the sale order line and the invoices lines. Yes, that's the one that matters. And this one is not read-only, and we can edit it. And on the same side, if we have a many-to-many here, it's not mandatory to have a many-to-many on the other side, but we have one. We have invoice lines here, so a link between the sale order lines and invoice lines. And on the other side, invoice, account move line, where are you? Account move line, should I have it? There. We must have the same. All right, so go there, sale, yes, sale line IDs, good. And that field, you can bring it here. So I'm on the invoice. Was it created, by the way, from SO? Don't see it here. I don't see that, but maybe it was. Let's check. I'm going to use Studio, and I'm diving into the invoice line definition, account move line, I should say. And we say here sale. Oops, not written that way. Sale, and then we have sale order lines. And you will see, I have the link between sale order lines and invoices. Here it says no records, so it means either it's someone in your use case that created an invoice and that needs to link it, or it's simply an invoice that will never be linked to a sale order. Let's go on other invoices. No records, this one. No records, no records, no records, no records, no records, no records. Okay, it looks like there's never a link here, but let's create a new one. Let's create a new sale order. I will select, for the sake of the exercise, a product that has here invoicing, but not based on delivery. It will be a bit faster, maybe. So I'm going to look for invoicing policy on ordered quantities. Yes, apparel spritz, cool. I'm going to take 4 apparel spritz. I'm doing this. I can create the invoice, regular invoice. I generate it. Good. Now I have this one record. Which one is this? Okay, I should maybe improve this view by saying, please give me here another widget that would be the tags. Okay, so I see it's SO70. The problem maybe is that I have the description after, but here it is. So it shows there that we have a link between both. So it's not required. So let's check if I can also change this. Okay, It's not read-only either, so maybe I would be able to change that thing, because I have the feeling it was not required at the sale order level either. No, seems like I cannot change it. But all of that to mention that there's a link. No, it is read-only in fact. There's a link between the account move lines and the seller lines IDs, and that if you say I allow myself to have a manual quote that I create, but I just want to link it to my seller, invoice letter that came first in my Odoo environment, you could do the following. It is take the lines of your invoice and link it yourself or programmatically with a button to the right sale order line, and that would work. And that's how, by the way, we compute. If I go back on the sale order, it's not this one. If I go back to sale order 70, that's how we compute a lot of things that are. No, I was on it. 70 here. That's how we know how much we have invoiced. This amount somehow makes use of the information that we have here. It knows the sale order lines that are linked to this invoice line and inversely. So that's why that's how we make it. So your question is, you could automate it. Don't do it, because I think there are lots of use cases that you don't manage. If you can afford to have that field that you fill in yourself, and you still create the quote, you can link it together, and that would work, and you will have the right invoiced amount here. And yeah, that's what I would say. Of course, a good question also, the why you cannot have that invoice or that thing on your side. Not that invoice, but that sale order being created first. That's something that I'm not questioning, but that I'm curious about. All right. Then what you can do is go to the next question from Michel Strom. Do you know if JSON RPC on XML RPC will be replaced by JSON 2 in Odoo 20? No, it's not replaced. If you go, I think I closed my thing here. So API documentation Odoo. We add the information. Oh yeah, here Odoo is missing. We add the information there. Oops. So it says new in version 19, but if you go on RPC here, it gives you the information. But I think that this danger zone is of course shown only because I'm on version 19 of the documentation. If I go on version 18, it's going to be different, but it's telling you that it's going to still last for a few more years, since we talk about the 27 and 28 for JSON RPC. Okay, so that's how you can consider it. But if on your side you know already that most of the job still needs to be done on your side, I would say go for JSON RPC 2. That would be JSON 2, I should say, because that would be already something that you don't need to fix later. There's another question, longer one. Okay, Chris Wiko, I'm not sure about the pronunciation again. I have been having problems in setting up branches where they will be selling products that have lot numbers that would come from the head office and sold to different branches. It seems like Odoo cannot handle properly in inventory. What am I doing wrong? I forgot to mention that aside from the branches that would be selling the product, I also set up other sister companies that do not sell the product that I earlier mentioned. Branches were set up under the main company, not just as a warehouse, and there are also sister companies that we set up. So branches were not just set up as separate warehouses. It was set up using multi-company setup of creating branches, since we would like to limit the users that will be assigned to each branch. When I did not create branches via the multi-company setup and just created different warehouses, lot numbers worked fine. But we really wanted to implement branches via the multi-company feature, since we wanted to limit user access to branches. But we had problems when we limited the product with the main company of the branches. I'm not sure of what the error is, but we can try to make sense of this. First of all, I wonder if there's not already a huge difference in the way that we manage lot numbers between version 19 and version 18. So it could be that there's an impact of the version as well. In order to check that, I would need to go, I'm going to close those ones. I would need to go first on maybe the record rules. Do we have the lot here? Okay, here we do have a rule in version 19. I would like to check if there's something different in version 18, because I had a feeling that we changed the rules around the lot numbers. Oops. One thing that I fail to understand is what is the issue. I understand that you have issues setting up, but what is the main issue that you have? Because you say lot numbers that would come from the head office, but is it that you don't see the lot numbers from the head office? Because stopping at your first sentence, I had the feeling that this is the issue that you have, that Odoo cannot handle it properly in the inventory. Like you have lot numbers and that the information is not shared between different offices, and that's maybe what I would need to know. Yes, and then you say we have different branches. Some branches have a warehouse, some don't. Okay, but as you want users to be linked to branches and don't see too much, I suppose that you want them to have their really the limitation or the specific place where they are going to use some products, but that's the information about the product and the lot number should be available to them, but not the rest. That's my understanding. But so don't hesitate to complete it if I don't have the right information. Just checking also at the moment here. I was mentioning the record rule things, record rules here. So it's lot okay, that's maybe that we had here. Lot subcontracting. No, it's not this one that would have been an issue. Or maybe that's because while we have the same rule, maybe by default serial numbers were linked to a company, so it meant that we couldn't see them with another company, because what it says here, it says companies, but when you are linked to your company, I wonder if it selects the notion of a branch together with it. Usually, that one is going to be tough. When you are a user here, Mitchell admin, okay, you have different companies. If I create a branch inside the company, so we don't, let's create a new one. Companies, then in my demo company, I'm going to create 2 branches. And you see, technically, it's also a REST company model. So that's why here we have branch 1. I'm going to create branch 2. Okay. So we have now 2 branches. If I go in user and companies, we see just the companies of, let's say, top level, and then you see that it has 2 branches. In terms of users, here, if I go back on Mitchell, yeah, there it says branch 1, demo, branch 2. So here you could have, I think, like demo user, could have just not demo company, but just the branch 2, or branch 1. It's not allowed companies for... The error is not super cool. Company demo company is not in the allowed companies for user mark demo. Okay, let's check something. If I can do that first, branch 1, yes. Can I remove it after? No. Okay, so if I'm moving it, I need to put demo company. Then I'm not sure I can strictly link it there. So lots numbers or serial, I don't have them. Yeah, I have them. Here, do we have some that are linked per company or not? No. I wonder if that is not the difference that we have. Let's go lot numbers, but here I'm based on demo data, so it's maybe not a good thing. I mean, it's the search I'm making is maybe not going to justify what I'm doing here. Here you see by default we maybe have one that is linked to a company, and that's maybe why you cannot share it. I'm going to receive one. Create a new lot number on a reception of a product that is lot number managed, and see if it attaches it to a company, because then maybe that's why you cannot see it. Chris, I took from the sentence that you brought, I understood that the issue is particularly linked to the lot numbers. If I'm mistaken, it's not the biggest problem that you have at the moment. Stop me there and rephrase your the main issue, the root issue that you have, because otherwise I'm diving into something that is going to take quite some time for no use at all. But let's go in the meantime for your question here. What kind of product do we have managed by lot? I think this is called the tracking in Odoo. Tracking by quantity, by lots of serial numbers. Let's do that. Lot, good. Let's say cable management box, good. I'm going to select 3. I confirm it. And I'm in which company? I'm going to select branch 1. Okay, deliver to. Ah, yes. If I do this, I cannot deliver to, since I need to create also. That's maybe also linked to what you said. You see, deliver to is going to say, okay, you can only see warehouses that are linked to the same company. That same company means the same company here, although you say it's a branch. For Odoo, it is a company. So I will need to go here. That's maybe part of the other thing that you have. I only have one warehouse now. I will need to create another warehouse. I would call it branch 1 warehouse. Let's do that. No problem is that it created here, and this one is read-only, so I can already delete it if I can. That's the problem with the warehouses archive. I've been a bit too fast doing that. I should maybe rather go in branch 1 and then say new warehouse branch 1. Yeah, B1 warehouse, and then it works. So be careful with the setup here. Okay, let's go back there. Now, if I go on branch 1, I can redo this. Deliver to, is it the correct one? I'm going to remove that just to be sure. Okay, company receipt. Let's go on the right. Is it? Yeah, that I don't like too much. Yeah, I need to say branch 1 here and branch 1 receipt. Okay, that's good. So it's a branch 1 specific thing. Confirming it. On the reception side, I would need to give serial numbers because otherwise I won't be able to validate it. B1001. Let's see. Okay, validate. So now I have those things in my reporting, in my stock, inventory, detailed stock. Oh, no, yes. It was cable management box. Yeah, we have those ones here with the serial number, and we see it's different locations. So if I go now on my, I don't know if the issue would be like you want to send it to another company, another branch. Maybe you want to send it to branch 1, or maybe it was the main warehouse to another branch. Let's try to do that. I'm creating a new thing here, trying to move the product. So cable management box. We have 2. I hope it is this one. And I'm going to move it from. Can I select it? It needs to happen in 2 different different move. It needs to be not this one, but it's more like the other one that needs to send it to me. No, I have it in branch 1. Sorry. So I can send from branch 1 to transit. Oops, cable management box. Which one was it? Do I have it here somewhere? No. Sorry, I just want to be sure of the type of cable management box I took. It's the 5555. Okay, that's the right one. Let's move one. Mark has to do. Okay, it selected the first one. All right. So I send it from my B1 warehouse to the outside world. Then let's go on my branch 2. Branch 2 doesn't have a warehouse, so I need to change that as well. Branch 2, B2 warehouse. Okay. Operations overview. Let's go and create another internal transfer, but this time for the second part of the equation. So it goes from transit, it goes to BO2, and then if I do this cable management box, this one, demand 1, let's mark as to do. Could it find it? Yes, it selected it automatically. So, well, I'm saying this. I'm curious about if it will use correctly the right serial numbers.
There is an update.
There's an
to
update.
The question.
Okay, the head office will buy and send some quantity of the lot to two branches. Okay, it is almost similar to what I'm doing. The only thing that I did was one branch to the other, but if you do from main company to the other, it would be similar in terms of access rights. Thanks for updating it, by the way. So here you see that I will re-explain after the test, but I send it from branch 1 to transit, because when you are in branch 1 and you have limited visibility and access rights, you cannot see what happens in the other warehouses, the branch 2 or the other stock. So you send it to transit location, that is a multi-company location that is used for that purpose, and then from transit you receive it back to the second warehouse. So when I'm doing the second part of the equation, transit to stock, so the reception part, it directly fetch the right serial number. And so the serial number is here, let's say a multi-company item, because I created it in the first branch and I can reuse it in the second branch. And so that kind of thing can work already in your setup, Chris. And if you go on the detailed stock or maybe stock moves, if I'm doing this and I'm selecting both branches, so those two, you would see what it did. So I received it in my branch 1. I sent it from my branch 1. I received it to my branch 2. So those things could work by changing. Here I was with the admin, but I was also playing with activating, inactivating the companies that are linked to me. It works, but indeed you had to create warehouses per place, simply because in fact otherwise, and we could see it already on the purchase side, if I'm selecting only this, I see only my warehouse information, I see only my product, of course, I see only my locations, the serial numbers that are linked to my company or that are not linked to any company. And so I think that in that version, so in 19.4, I think that one of the changes is the following, as I was mentioning. I'm not sure about that, but I have I remember that we discussed that with colleagues some time ago. I think that when 19 went out, that you have here in lot numbers, this is not linked to a company, so it's visible to all, and it works well with the intercompany settings. Doing it from main branch to other branch is not going to change, but indeed you need to have warehouses, otherwise you are going to be stuck in your workflow. And that depends. The setup that you have at the beginning works because you make it. There are different models that intervene and that work together. The serial numbers, warehouses, locations, POs, they all work with a set of specific rules in the access rights. And the way to transfer one thing to another would be this one. So create intermediate shipments. So warehouse 1, transit, warehouse 2. Whatever it is, from a main company to a branch, or from one branch to the other, that's how it should be working, because they have their own warehouse. If they don't have their own warehouse, I'm not sure it should be branches. I'm not sure about that, but I suppose that physically they are different as well. Yes, so that's what I would say for your question. If your need is a bit more complex than this, I would say it's better to have a private call and see really the setup that you have on your company and the version that you have, because that is going to be a bit more complicated. Those are part of the questions. This one are not deep, but complicated accounting questions. Sometimes it's really difficult to answer without the full picture and a database with the exact product and checking the version. But that is very quickly how it works, the multi-company, the multi-branches with lot numbers. Okay, Hendrik Knut is asking, will the report designer eventually be available without Studio? No. If so, when? It's no. You don't have the choice for that. You have to consider the following. Back in the days, everything was free on Odoo, and I'm saying back in the days we had a company that was called OpenERP, but it was not working. We had fewer employees. It was almost impossible to generate enough traction simply because the product was free. And when it's free, people don't, as it's free, people don't pay you. Then the solution that was found by our founder was to say, okay, let's put a lot of free stuff, but have a freemium offer with Odoo Enterprise that will bring added value with modules like Studio, like specific accounting, like integration with other third-party softwares. And that's, and the bug fix and the guarantee to be always on the latest version justifies the cost. And so you are interested in Studio, somebody would be interested in the French localization, somebody else will be interested with the bank synchronization. Everyone will be interested by different things and will ask for it to be free. But that we cannot do, otherwise we won't earn money as a company. So that's why we don't do it. So my take, however, is that now with the advent of all the AI tools, Studio become less of an issue because you can ask to create what Studio does by prompting. But you still need to have a lot of knowledge, and it's more complicated than just drag and dropping. But it can be done maybe in a way that was completely impossible before for the common human being, and now it is available for a bit everyone. So at least in a faster way. All right. Next question from Muhammad Hamza Pervez. I'm experiencing performance issue with the Odoo post. That's isn't that a question from last week? Ah, yes, I remembered it.
Yes, but it was recent.
Ah, okay. So it's somebody that is following again today.
Yes.
Thanks for coming back, Mohamed. So you have an performance issue with Odoo POS. I have multiple branches, around 101 user dedicated hosting plan on Odoo SH. Each branch has approximately 12 post workers. From time to time, POS sessions get stuck when processing payments, which slows down operations. Another issue is that I'd like to understand how to investigate the root cause of these slowdowns. Problem seems to occur only in specific stores, and I'd like to identify why it's causing the increased loading time. What can I do to improve the speed and overall performance of the POS? Also, what tools or methods can I use to diagnose what's causing the performance issues? Can I archive the previous year's data and invoice, and it all makes speed set up for reports? Lots of things to say there. I'm going to stop at some point, knowing that part of the performance discussion is better to have it. Let's go back here during that session, text session with Emanuele or Armin, because that's a discussion that they have really often. Well, of course, you see the dates. It's not going to be super cool for you to wait for 1 month, but I can already give you some information. First of all, you can contact our support for that. So they can help you with that kind of information. That's also the kind of thing that they work for which they work with you. Now, on Odoo SH, you have a few things that you can put in place. Diagnosing where you have an issue, it's honestly something that takes time because it can be in multiple places that you need to investigate, and it can be multifactorial, and several things can let's say conspire against you. You can have a bit of network because you have network issues. It takes more time for receiving the right information that needs to be computed, and the computation is quite long. So there are a few things that you can have a look at. Some usual suspects, and we can check this. First of all, 101 users, and for 101 users, you don't need to be on a dedicated hosting plan. So that is important. There are reasons why you need to be on a dedicated hosting plan, like fixed IP address. It's not always, well, you still have to change it from time to time. So it's fixed but not so fixed. You have more workers. You maybe have a specific location. That is why you took a dedicated, but just the number of users alone, that's what I mean, doesn't justify it. So that you know it. Okay, even though you have 12 workers per POS, because in the end, 12 POS workers, they are anyway around those 101 users. So unless you're telling me that it's 12 times 101, because you have one user per POS and each POS has 12 workers, it could change a bit, but in the end, most of the time, it's anyway one POS session, orders coming in. So the most important thing would be the amount of orders that you have from time to time. And you say, from time to time, POS session gets stuck when processing payments, which slows down operation. If it's when processing payments, and it's always when processing payments, I would say be sure that it's not linked to the payment provider. I don't know if we can make a test live because I don't have a link with a payment provider, but I can show something that could help you. Now let's go on one on which I already have something here. And let's open a register. What you would see Emanuele do when there are issues with things being slow. Okay, let's take another one. You go in the payment and you are going to select some payment provider here, and then things get slow. If things get slow, one thing that you can do is have a look at the network here. So you open your Chrome debugging tool, and if you see that you have a long time with nothing is happening and you are expecting an answer from that counterpart, it's simply maybe that Odoo is sending information and we wait because we are waiting for an answer from that counterpart. Is it a payment terminal, or is it not a payment terminal, but the payment terminal itself needs to check information to the bank, receive the information, process it, and then send it back to Odoo? It could be it, but network could be helping you finding, okay, are we waiting for something? That is information that we sent and that we need to get back. Performance is not here going to give you lots of information because that performance is more like the performance of Chrome, I think, not Odoo's performance that is behind. That is one thing. If it's Python related, and so most of the things in Odoo that would be problematic in terms of time spent or time wasted would be some huge SQL queries or Python. And those two, I think you can monitor them by going here on Odoo SH and you click on monitor. And then when you click on monitor, yes, the interface changed, and maybe I don't remember where it is. There's a place, it's not the monitoring, but there's a place, you know, where you can say diagnose. Where is it located, that one again? Tools, yes, the profiler. Okay, it's not in monitor. Previously it was under the same place. Now it's in tools. You can start the profiler. Let's do that here. It's not going to bring a lot of benefits here, but you have the same inside Odoo anyway. I'm going to open this one. Let's add a quick CRM. I'm going to install one or two modules for the time being. Okay, CRM, so that we can monitor what is happening in Odoo when I'm creating a quote. It won't be super efficient because Odoo is going to be fast, and so I won't have a performance place where I would see, oh, there's a clear spot where I can see where things are getting slow. That I won't be able to do. But at least I can show what it does, and eventually then forward you to or guide you through a bit of extra knowledge that you can get from the graph that we get from Odoo. Okay, so it's still installing the Sail application. That monitoring tool, while it's installing here, I'm going to launch it from Odoo SH, but it can be launched also directly from Odoo on the SaaS. I'm going to show that. It's a different place, but the information is similar. Okay, I don't like the tour thing. Getting here, what I can do, let's imagine that you say, you know what, every time I'm creating a quote, things are super slow. In that case, I would say, you go there, you go on, not upgrade, but you go on tools, you say start profiler, and on start profiler, you start performing the thing that is slow. I'm going there, I'm selecting an administrator, I'm going to add a product, it's maybe the product creation that is quite slow, blah, blah, I'm changing some information, I'm saving this, okay, and then I stop the profiler. What it does is that it created a flame graph that is here, that is this. It's showing the different methods that have been called in Odoo, and the deeper it is and the larger it is when it is deep, the more you will be able to select the function that is really problematic, because the width shows the time it took, while the depth shows the amount of sub-method that it called. So when you have something that is large here, it means that, okay, the thing took quite some time to process. And you would have to check here, if you have something that is always super long until the end, it means that it's the last process that is taking a lot of time. So I could go here and see, okay, it's what do we have here? Is there something that I could make sense of with my limited knowledge in technical stuff in Odoo? Dispatch, blah blah. Create form decorator. Okay, there's not that much I can select from here. What do we have? Run service. worker. I'm going to recreate a new one because I'm astonished. I would expect to find something that would be maybe the creation. Yeah, that is it. Yeah, you see here the creation of the product. It is here. Let's imagine that you see that this one is super wide and taking a lot of time. It would mean that you have an issue in the code that creates the product. So it would be in Python, and maybe you have to revamp the code. And that is also a second row of things that you can check. We mentioned the network before. Here we also have tools like that monitoring that would allow you to see, okay, if it's not the network, is it the complexity of what we've done? And if yes, is it in Python? And then you could have here in Python some information about which function took time. And if that function took time, then you go in the code and you see, okay, why this function is taking that much time to be processed. Maybe you are going to have for loops, and with lots of iteration and lots of search. I don't know if that could be it, but you have a few things like those ones sometimes. This is for the Python side. Making sense of the graph here is, I think, also really experience-based and knowing what are the different models that are made of Odoo, the different things that we have here in terms of functions that are being called. So I think that being good in terms of performance is something that you learn through the different cases that you have seen in your lifetime as an Odoo developer. Also, what you can do is, I think it's also illustrated in one of the videos of Emanuele, it is the fact that you can monitor also and ask Odoo to output at some places the queries that have been done in SQL, so that you can send it also to, I think, explain, was it Dalibo? I wonder if it's, yeah, those guys, so that you can paste some SQL query result, and so it's going to tell you why it is slow, or a few places that you can investigate. But that would be more like PostgreSQL related. Now, what I'm curious about is that usually, I mentioned earlier the fact that yes, when you are with deep manufacturing, with a lot of accounting, sometimes you have a few things that are slow, because Odoo, let's say for stock, you create a product that has 100 components, and you need to know, am I able to manufacture it? Am I able to manufacture it? I need to maybe check workers availability. That is complicated because there are people off, there are time off, there's a planning. You have then after those things, you have the components. Do I have all the components? Yes, no. So you have lots of things that are being executed. It's normal there to be slow. POS, it's something where you have someone bringing you a product, you scan it, you sell. Especially the payment, you are going to maybe create a few journal entries, but that's all it does. So it shouldn't be slow. So that's why I'm more thinking about the network side of things. But if it's not, I would say try to profile it, try to have a look at what is done in SQL. Eventually, a few places, I'm thinking about that because I don't know if when we initiate payments, maybe we validate things automatically, in which case it's not the payment itself, but it's the next operation that we have. One of the things that could be a bit slower would be, and I'm thinking about that with the POS. Okay, let's go back on my demo branch one.
Antoine?
Yes.
He's also asking if archiving
yes.
stuff,
yeah.
like records and
yes.
everything, would
could help.
Help.
Yes, in a few places, yes. I'm going to give you extra information on the archiving side and a few usual suspects that you can also consider so that you make things go a bit faster. Finishing on this one, in the setting of the POS, if you go at the bottom, you have this, inventory. Do we create a big picking at the end of the session, or do we do it in real time? If it's in real time, Odoo will do it at the moment where we finish the POS order. So that's maybe why you have it at the moment of the payment, because that's very, very close to the moment where we create that kind of inventory stuff. So it could be it, but that's Odoo, the visualization of the flame graph would confirm it. So that's another place that you can have. For the question about the archiving, yes, archiving data usually helps you see less. Let me repeat that, restart this. Archiving data means that when Odoo performs some read or search, it has less records to show. So it's anyway not going to make it slower. So it's a good idea to hide a few things. But And also, lots of SQL queries will be faster since we don't fetch archived things by default. There are a few other places that you can improve. One of the big ones that I see for a lot of clients is that we have in the accounting application here, first dashboard, and I see always clients putting all their journals in the dashboard, meaning for every number that we have to compute here, we are going to maybe browse millions of account moves. So when we say archiving, it could be also archiving items of removing from favorites, so that if one user goes here, is not slowing everything down for the other ones, because there are millions of things to fetch. So it could be that you see something that is slow for some operations, because as you have post order all the time, maybe at that moment you think, oh, the POS order is slow while I'm making payments, but maybe the issue is because someone is using all the resources on the other side. So it could be that as well. So a few places that you would spot, maybe by starting the monitoring, you would see, while I was monitoring for 5 minutes, I had several orders that were slow, but at the same time of those orders being slow, there was this issue in another place of the software, and that could be that reason as well. So removing, showing less data all the time, of course, is going to make things a bit faster, and archiving is one of those not solutions, but it's one of the ideas of showing less. So it's the same like when you go here, journal entries, having a filter by default, not on posted, but on the last ones. Let's imagine you have 10 years of accounting data. You don't care to load those millions of things. Maybe you can have a default custom filter that is showing only the one of the last year. That would make things load faster, a bit faster here, a bit faster there, so that it improves it overall for everyone. Showing less things here is the same, because the dashboard is quite time consuming. So typically this one, you can move it a bit more on the right, so it's not always the same, the one that is open. Because when you click on accounting here, it means that every time that you want to access customer invoices or vendor bill, if your use of Odoo is clicking here and then access things here, it means that you first start by loading information that you don't need. It's not the same as if you go here and you say customer invoices. There you don't load it in the dashboard. But if you click, then you go here, you load a dashboard that is quite complete, and then you go in the customer information. So all those places, it means that sometimes you need also to know the behavior of your users to improve those kind of things. What else do we have? Archiving, you said it would work as well. I don't know if we perform other things than those ones. If you are hosted on the SaaS, what you can do, and not on Odoo SH, when you are in debug mode and you are an admin, you can also enable the profiling here, and that you say, I would like to have it for 5 minutes. You start it. You perform a few things, like you send this one. Okay, good. Let's send it. After that, we are going to print something. Blah, blah. So it took a bit of time. Let's remove this one, and then we stop the profiling just after. I enabled it, but did it work, or is it just? I don't know if did I have to start something? Maybe I didn't. Okay, let's retry. Enable profiling. Okay. All right. It was the first time I was doing it, so I suppose it was asking me, okay, what is the default settings that you want for the profiling, and now it is recording. Let's redo it. Let's take this one, duplicate, confirm, send, blah blah, print. Okay, and you see, there you see the red icon. It is recording this. Now, or do I stop that? I have no idea. Oh, it's maybe going to just here. Did it save it? Yes. Okay, good. And then you see the duration of things, and you can check which one was the longer one. And there you see the longest one was about sending and printing. Then it was about the downloading. So those two, out of 7 seconds, it took me 5. So that's maybe where you can see things that were a bit slower. Do we have? But it doesn't show you more than this. It shows a few of the actions, but it doesn't show you the flame graph. Or do we have flame graph somewhere? Not sure. So maybe this one is a bit more limited. It shows a few things are slow, but Yes, there you have it. Okay, the first time I'm checking this. Well, I'm not going to go further, but you have other tools like those ones to help you profile. I'm clearly not an expert there, so maybe that's a place where you can, on your side, check it. Okay, here it's for opening another one, so I should maybe download it first. Let me check that again. Yes, let's try download. Browse. Okay, I'm going to load it on the other side. Sorry for that. If I'm selecting it, what is it giving me? Nothing. Okay, that I'm not a pro for this thing here, but that's maybe some place that we can investigate. And the HTML is it going to show me something here? No, it's the same. All right. Cannot tell you more about this one, but it's already giving you a potential, let's say, ID on the usual suspects for the POS being slow, and I would start with that, Mohammed. And otherwise, as you are on Odoo SH, we can also investigate there. So it's very important. Again, you can contact your support and say this is the issue that we have, and they are going to investigate for you. So I don't know if you are more a user of a system or a partner. If you are a partner, it's better to know to do it yourself, but if you are a user, you can always contact our support as well. If you are a partner, you can also contact the support, but it's good that you know how it works. Hussein was asking, when we create a lead, so next question, when you create a lead in a CRM and add some tags to it, I noticed that after converting it to a customer, the tags are not carried over. Yes, I have to add them manually each time. That is true. Those are different tags, and one good guide to tell you that, or at least to realize it. Let's see. I don't have the CRM. No, I have it. Let's go in my CRM. If I create a new here a new opportunity, blah blah blah. Op test one. We have this. I add it. Good. And I'm adding tags. Tag CRM1. I'm just curious. I'm not even sure it's the same. Is it partner category? I'm not sure it's the same model. So let's try this here. No, it's CRM tag. You see, relation is CRM tag, while on the other side, if we go on the contacts, I create a new one, test contact. You see in the tag here, I don't have a CRM1. I will have, I will call it contact one. No, I should reuse CRM1 because I want to have the same name. Was it? Let's go back to the CRM. Was it the name? Tag CRM1. Okay. Tag CRM1. You see, it's not even the same color, and here it shows that it's not the same relation. So that means that why it's not carried over, it's not even the same model. It can have the same name, but it's not the same model. And Odoo didn't think about, okay, a tag in CRM should be the same as a tag on a contact. I don't think it's something that would match all the companies, so I understand why it's not there by default. Otherwise, you could have tags that are used on all the different applications. Why, when I'm adding it as a contact, don't I bring those tags on the sale order and then on the project or the manufacturing order? So it has no, it never stops. So at some point we need to say, okay, those are different tags. They can be similar, but then you need to develop it yourself. If you want to do that, it would mean that at the moment where you transform a lead to an opportunity, which is usually the moment where you create the contact, you want to maybe create that tag in the other category and also attach it to the contact. That would be a bit complicated. I think you can do it on the SaaS, but that would mean here, let's go on a lead, new lead. So you see I don't have a contact yet. I'm adding the tag again, tag CRM1. If I convert to opportunity, here it's created a new contact, and you would like to have that new contact here that has a tag. In order to do that, I'm going to check if we can do this as a good exercise, not Odoo AI, automated rule, create a REST partner tag based on CRM lead tag. So it's when you confirm a lead, and that lead goes from when we create an edit, then it goes from type equals lead to type equals opportunity. So when we change the state, we create a contact. I'm going to do something, but it's maybe going to be a bit more complicated because I'm not sure that at the moment where this action gets executed, maybe the contact doesn't exist yet. So if that's the case, it's going to be more complicated to put that in place. But here you could say, check if tag exists in the other category. And later, or no, let's just after, if it exists and contact is set, then add tag to the contact. Okay, that is something you can do. So check if the tag exists in the other category. We can first do that. So we are going to do it on a name based. I'm going to do it for one tag, but of course you will need to go and check for any tag, and that can be a bit long, but no, let's do it. For tag in record, we are going to check the record. Maybe some AI could help you there as well. I should maybe start more and more by using the AI for those kind of things. If records tag IDs, we need to check what it is in the new leads. It's tag IDs, yeah, tag IDs. Then we need to look for the tags, and we are going to use another model, which is the REST partner category. What's the name of those other tags? We have tags on contacts here. That is it. REST partner category, yeah. So REST partner category is not model, but it's env, sorry, env REST partner. Partner category, and we are going to say RPC. We look for a tag that has exactly the same name than the tag that we have on the other side. So tag.name, and if we have it, let's say, do we have that tag? And if we don't, if not this, we need to create it first. So RPC create, and then we say name equals tag.name. So okay, so at least the tag would exist, and for each tag that doesn't exist, we would create one. We can already test this one and see if that seems to be working by making a quick test like this one. Let's go back to the lead. Let's create a new one, lead 2. We go here, we say tag test 1, tag test 2. Okay, let's convert to an opportunity. Okay, so at the moment that seems to be working. I didn't have an error. Let's go there. It didn't attack, add the tags, that's okay, but it created them, so good, that is working. So what we could do, let's go back here, it would be saying that now we have all those tags. I should maybe store them, but that wouldn't be sufficient, because then what I need to do is, if the contact is set, so if we have on my record, the current record being the lead, if I have a partner ID, what we should do is write on this one. And write tag IDs, or it's maybe REST partner, what's the name of this? Category ID. Partner category ID, and it should be containing the tags. So using all the tags that we had on the other side, but in order to do that, I will need the IDs, and it's maybe better to have this here, tag IDs being an array, and we push for every time that we have this one tag ID, and because we have a tag ID, we update. It's update or it's push. I'm never sure. Updates maybe for dict. Array Python add value. I'm never sure. It's happened. I think it's that. Add an array item. That's happened. Okay. Let's try that. Happened, and then we say tag ID. Why do I do that? Because here I want to add the tag IDs now that I have it, and for this we need to use a specific command, and I'm super bad at remembering how we use that, and that's why for this one I always need to rely on the documentation. Odoo command documentation. I don't know if I will find directly. No, it's command line interface. Command syntax. Ah, yeah, it's done by those guys. So it may be where I go. No, there's a command create thing in the code. I could test that also. Command create. Do we have that? But here it's not command create. It's command link. Yeah, do I have that group? Yeah, command link like ID. I'm looking for here. Okay, that's maybe what I need. But here it's giving. Okay, let's try that. I'm never sure about the syntax. It's a nightmare. Okay, so I have this one, command link, and I'm going to give it all the IDs. We'll see how it works. I think it's a link, but I'm not sure. Command link and then tag IDs. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I will get an error, especially if I keep 2 commas here. We'll check this one. Okay. First error here is telling me the syntax is not even correct. Tag IDs. What was it telling me? Yes. I cannot do that. I need to write as partner. This syntax is not correct. I need to write this. Oops, I think that would be more correct. Let's try that. Nope. Yes, it's not correct either. Here. Okay, I'm pretty sure I will get an error anyway. Let's go here. I cannot bring it back to lead, so every time I need to make a second lead 3. Here, I already can see an error in my way of working. You will see tag test 3. Convert opportunity. It did something. No, but I don't have the tag here, so it means it could mean several things. It could be that here, at the moment where I confirmed it, I still don't have a contact. One thing I can do is quickly do this: raise user error, record .partner ID, and if it doesn't bring anything, that means that my way of doing here is incorrect, because at the moment I'm confirming the lead, I don't have the contact yet, so I will need to find another solution for this. And I hope I will have enough with the 10 minutes. Let's try a second time, a fourth time. Let's do here test 5. All right. Yes, that's it. Here it gives me an empty result, so at the moment I'm converting this, it's not going to work. I could keep the first part. That will already be something. It creates a tag, so at least they always match. There's always a, let's say, something equal between the tags on the CRM side and the tag on the contact side, but that part is not going to work. And that is a pity. That means that I need to check and to find a way to be sure that when a contact is created, I know it is created from a lead. And that I don't know if we could find this, because we see contact created, but we don't know if it's coming from a lead. Here, nope. So that's going to be a bit more complicated. There's a trigger missing to tell me that it's coming from action view opportunity. Okay, I see the opportunities. There's a link to an opportunity, but it's not because of that it is created from the opportunity. But what we can do, thinking out loud here. Maybe at the creation of a contact, we could say, okay, if there's an opportunity that already exists at the creation of the contact, fetch the tags and add the tags there. We can try that. It's the same idea, but based this time on the automation of the REST partner. Do we have... we can try that. Let's... we have opportunity here. Yeah, opportunity count. Okay, opportunity IDs. We can try that. We can first make a test so that we save a bit of time. Based on the same principle, if at the creation of the contact I have the opportunity ID, it means that it's coming from an opportunity. Let's try that. Is my contact linked to an op? Alright, we do it on the REST partner. Oops, la. REST partner, and we say, okay, at the creation, although it's not always good to do it only at the creation, let's see if opportunities is set, then do something, and I'm going to say raise error, and we'll see if this works or not. Raise user error. Hooray. Okay, let's see that. Go back here, create a new lead, lead 5. Let's create a test 6. Alright, good, convert. Aha, that's problematic. I should have an error. Here, I didn't have an error, so it means that this creation of the contact didn't trigger my raise user error. So it means that we created the contact and then maybe we linked the opportunity. So it means that we need to do it in a different way, not on creation, but on creation and edit, and do it at the moment where opportunity is empty, is not set, and then here opportunity is set. Oops, let's retry this one. So it's when we change this value. Wait, yeah, it should be correct. It looks like it's correct. Let's see. Lead 6, test 7. Okay. Then I'm curious. So on creation edition, opportunities is not set, opportunities is set, and however, I didn't have that error. I'm very curious because at some point I had to change this, but maybe we didn't write on the partner, but we wrote only on the other side. Yes, we didn't write on the partner, but we wrote on the opportunity. So you see, I'm working step by step. The first part I hoped, not expected, but I hoped that everything was happening in one go from the opportunity. It's not the case. The opportunity is, the lead is converted in opportunity. Then we can create a tag, that is good. But at the moment when we wanted to write on the partner is not yet linked to the opportunity. Then let's go on the partner side. But here it looks like the partner, we don't write on it to add an opportunity. And at the moment of the creation, we didn't have the opportunity yet. So it's all a matter of in which sequence things are created. So it leads me to think that we don't write on the partner, at least we don't write the opportunities on the partner, which makes sense because usually you write on the many to one and not the one to many. So I will need to make another automation. And this one I think I can not remove it, but I will archive. It means that we should go here, but go on a write, and we write it when we do what? When we add the partner. So let's do this on a lead write, or I should say opportunity write, because we just covered before that it was not the partner was not added between lead and opportunity, but after the opportunity is created. Let's do add the partner, then perform tag stuff. Okay, let's go back here. Same lead. So this time if my assumption is correct, we should have a trigger that is slightly different, which is opportunity, not opportunity, it is a partner ID. Partner is not set to partner. Oops, partner is set. So when I'm adding a partner on opportunity, then perform something. And this one, I should be able to reuse the previous code right here. Let's try this one. We just do it at a different moment, a different time. Execute code. All right. I'm going to archive this one as well, since the trigger is not exactly what we want, and we can retry the other one, and we'll see what it says. Okay, do I still have my error? No, I will raise my user error here. And we'll see, maybe I will discover something new in this one. So the only problem that I have with this one is that it's not only happening at the moment when the opportunity, the lead is being converted to an opportunity. And you would say, maybe you want to have two domains, well, two values in the domains here to go to the next value. But if we have a series of different writes, and that none of the writes match both of my not values, but of my fields here, it's never going to be executed. So I'm going to check here something that is very, very light in terms of check, which is just, am I writing on the contact on my lead? Which means that the way that now I don't need even to I'm showing you this. I don't need even to convert it. Lead 7, test 8. Doing this. Now adding a contact should be already sufficient. Although, am I creating the contact here? If I'm creating, it's not good. No, I'm writing. Okay. So writing the contact there should be already sufficient. I can use Antoine here. I'm saving, yes, and this time it's telling me res partner tree, so that is working. We'll see, but at least what I wanted to accomplish seems to be okay. So I'm going to remove this one so that we can do the full test, convert to opportunity. Technical error. Then that's my command thing that is not working. Tag ID is not defined. It should be. Tag IDs, yes. I'm trying to have it here, but here it says we don't have any info. It doesn't happen anything in the new tag IDs maybe. So it means that we didn't have do we have that tag? No. Wait. Yeah, but the tag was already existing. If I do 7, no. Okay. Test 7. But the tag thing was empty. That's maybe why. Yes, it was really empty. Convert to up. Different error. What is it saying? And then I think it's yes. This time it's the ID of the command that is incorrect. And good. So we need to fix that part to me, and I'm always super bad at this. I wonder if I didn't do another one with a correct command thing. Was it here? No. There must be a place where I did some command thing that I could reuse, but I'm going to go back there and try to find. I'm not sure if it's a link thing that I need to use. Links, order IDs. Yeah. But here, link, it's always linked to only one ID and not several ones. So that's maybe already a first thing that is completely different to what I need. It's always doing it step by step. Okay. Wait a sec, because maybe then I could do it in a different way in my code if it's just one by one. But now I don't want to write several times, because I could do it here instead of appending in an array. I could write on my partner, but if I have 10 tags, I'm going to write 10 times. So I could do that as well here. That's maybe incorrect. Let's try this. It's incorrect in terms of performance. We were discussing that before. I don't like the way it is done, but if it works, it's already a good point, but it should be a bit different. Let's do this, and let's comment that part. There's no shortcut to comment here, I think. Okay, I'm doing something different now, meaning I'm deciding to write on the partner directly the tag that I have. Let's see if that works. Nope. And if I cannot make it work, it will maybe before next time. I'm writing values. What does it tell me? Yes, it's not the right. It's not the right type of tag. I'm trying to write a tag. No, it's correct. It's tag ID. No, tag ID. That's what I wanted. Tag ID.id. Because I'm trying to give the whole tag. Well, I just need the ID. Yes, that works. And here we have it. Okay, so you see, I like this kind of exercise because we start from one place of something would be needed. In my case, we had to struggle with the trigger to find how it works. But in a nutshell, those are two different tags, so we need to create a tag. It's not, this one is not perfect. We had to create a tag on the other model so that they match together. We don't cover the case where the tag exists and I need to add it, because here we add the tag only if it didn't exist. Otherwise I should need to create something different here. Say if not, well, if it exists, I am just writing on it, and that would work as well. So that's first thing. And then bad practice here is to, if I have 10 tags, I'm writing 10 times on the partner instead of doing one write with the whole table of tags. There's another command to do it. I'm not sure if it's update or what. It must be, well, it's not, it must be, it is explained in the documentation. But it's not that I'm bad at reading, but I have no time left. We need to close the session now. All right, guys. Next week, I think it's going to be Luis that will be serving you guys during 2 hours. We still have a few questions. I'm very glad that you assisted us with lots of questions that you asked. Hopefully, it was useful for you. Don't hesitate to contact our support for the things that are more like performance related. And see you next week then, or next time. Anyway, bye-bye.